Do you want to learn how to reduce stress by only incorporating a few simple foods into your diet? I'm going to show you how right now. Be sure to stick around to the end where I show you my favorite stress relieving food. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Busy Vegan Mom. My name is Rachel. I'm so glad to have you back. If you are new here and have not yet subscribed to this channel and you would like weeks filled with plant-based inspiration, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I upload videos all the time, several videos a week, not only with plant-based inspiration, but also with different recipes. So today I'm going to share with you a list of foods that are stress relieving foods or foods that may help to promote mood, help with anxiety, all these sorts of things. And of course, they are all plant-based. Again, be sure to stick around until the end so I can tell you my number one most favorite stress relieving food. Number one on the list is herbal teas. I cannot speak enough on how powerful herbal teas are for us. I mean, naturally, don't you think, naturally people think about when someone's upset or going through a hard time, it's like, let's have a nice warm cup of tea to help to soothe the body, soothe the mind, soothe the spirit. So naturally, herbal teas are great. There's all sorts of different types of teas out there that help with sleep, with bringing about a calmness within us. A lot of times people will opt for a chamomile tea. There's all different sorts of tea blends, but soothing warm beverages are already great for stress and even just calming down the nervous system in general. So any type of herbal tea, warm herbal tea, will always do the trick. Dark chocolate is rich in antioxidants, and so long as it doesn't have added sugars or too many added ingredients in it, can really, really do well to boost the mood. Eating about just a little piece a day. I know it's hard not to overindulge. I mean, for me, like once we start eating something like that, I'm like tend to want to eat more because it's so good. But so long as you are sticking to a dark chocolate that is dairy free, of course, is what I'm going to suggest. We don't want any dairy in our chocolate. So a dark, rich in antioxidant chocolate with maybe only a few ingredients such as cocoa butter, possibly some light cane sugar, but no added processed sugar or any other things like that. Very, very, very minimal ingredients, and just a little bit a day goes a long way. It's said to boost levels in serotonin, and who doesn't feel good after taking a few bites of some dark chocolate? Number 3 on my list is whole grains. Now, when I say whole grains, I mean things like barley, brown rice, rye, things like this. Look into what healthy grains look like. There's even more out there if you were to research on your own. I have mentioned before in a previous video the types of breads that I recommend, which would be Ezekiel bread, because that is pure whole grain bread. I also, when that's not available, I will opt for Dave's Killer Bread. These are both, vegan friendly breads. Most breads are, but they have wholesome ingredients, are made from seeds, are made from whole grains. Whole grains can help definitely to boost the mood due to the different vitamins that are inside of them, but also due to the fact that they're high in fiber, this can play a huge role in a healthy gut. And remember, if you have a healthy gut, it contributes to a healthy mind. They say our gut is just like a second brain for us. So what you are feeding your gut in the long run, or even in the short run, makes a big difference in what goes on in the brain. So healthy gut can really create a healthy atmosphere for a healthy mind. Remember it. It's out there. Research it. Don't just take my word for it. The next item I have on my list would be calcium-rich foods. So leafy greens, sunflower seeds, almonds, things like this. These foods are rich in calcium. And you already have heard me speak so much on leafy greens and how we need to have those in our diet every single day for optimum health. But calcium-rich foods are going to help with preventing stress. There are studies done on this. So any ways that you can get those greens into your diet, whether it be a salad or in a smoothie, whatever way you can get those in. There's a tons of different leafy greens, whether it be your kale, your spinach, your bok choy, broccoli, things of this nature are great and have a high calcium intake. Nuts are also a great source of healthy fats, but also can be great in preventing stress because, one, of the healthy fats, and for two, they are full of nutrients, including B vitamins. B vitamins play an important role in a healthy life. B vitamins can also help to reduce stress. There was even a study done on pistachios alone saying that a handful of pistachios could reduce the amount of stress uh, in one's body. You'll just want to be sure to limit the amount of nuts and seeds that you take in due to packing on the extra calories, because if one sits around and snacks on nuts all day, probably won't be too pretty on the waistline. Citrus fruits and strawberries, which contain vitamin C, are great for combating stress. Some studies have shown that high levels of vitamin C may combat and reduce stress levels. Eating fruits like strawberries, grapefruits, and oranges are a great place to start in regards to citrus fruits. Just remember, having an adequate amount of vitamin C is great for combating stress. As I've mentioned in previous videos, taking probiotics are essential for gut health. So probiotics would just make perfect sense in to be something that we have in our tool belt for combating against stress. Probiotics help with our gut health, and remember our gut health is like basically our gut is our second brain. So it can interfere with emotions, all sorts of things like this. If we've got a healthy gut, we can have a healthy mind. Of course, there are other things that play a role in this. A healthy gut is just one of the many things, but a way that we get there is through probiotics. I am happy to leave a link below to the probiotics that I use. And everyone should start taking a probiotic supplement daily. There's tons of different ones. They even have companies out there that will help formulate one specific to you in your body. It's come for me to tell you my favorite stress reducing food or herb, if you will. So let me just tell you how I noticed a difference first off before I tell you what it is. I had been implementing this stress relieving food into my life for the past couple weeks, and I had noticed prior to that that I was starting to do a lot of jaw clenching. And I'm like, what is going on with this? Like, what is causing me to do this? I would be at my desk at work and just like feel my teeth clenching down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's been years since I had experienced that. So I'm like, that's interesting. And so I put two and two together after I had started consuming this specific stress reducing food, that I all of a sudden one day noticed that I wasn't doing that anymore. And I noticed my body being able to respond, even on a physical level, in a completely different way to certain situations, even like the littlest of things that would normally probably cause me a little bit of distress weren't. And so that makes the most powerful stress relieving food on my list adaptogens. So I have been recently studying adaptogens. So adaptogens work at a molecular level by regulating a stable balance in specific glands within the body. These are involved in the stress response. They work by hacking the stress response in the body. I have a list of different types of adaptogens. These are not all of them, but some of the ones that I'm familiar with, and maybe you are too. Ashwagandha, that's one of my favorites. I actually have this mixed into different herbal teas that I have, and I love to say it, ashwagandha. Cordyceps, which is a type of fungus. Holy basil, ginseng, which I'm sure most people are familiar with. Licorice, I don't mean the candy, I mean licorice root. And maca, formerly known as maca powder, which I also am familiar with. So maybe some of these you've heard of. Let me know below if any of these sound familiar or if you have experience with adaptogens. But basically, these are amazing little nature-made things that are in various different forms that we can either consume by adding certain things into different dishes, or the most popular way that I have found is by consuming them via drink. Now, back to my favorite type of tea brand here, Mulberry Creek Traditionals, who, again, this is not a sponsored video. I just love their stuff so much. Let me put it here so you can see it. This particular one is called Tulsi Triple Threat, and the different adaptogens in this herbal tea blend are the holy basil, ashwagandha, and a couple other things. It's just all mixed together, and it was through this tea company that I actually learned that adaptogens actually work best when they are taken consistently over time. And so I had been drinking. I also had a matcha tea blend here. This is the blend that I use. It's a matcha super latte, and you can see here that it's adaptogens and it's got probiotics. So it's got a ton of different stress relieving items just in this alone. If you can see here, I mean, you've got different types of mushrooms. You've got your I can't see it because it's backwards, but you know, the matcha, which is obviously great no matter what. And this is a warm mix that I make. It's got immune support, all sorts of different types of things in it, that several adaptogens. These are the drinks that I drink daily. If I don't have one, I definitely have the other. And the good news is I researched, and you can't like take too many. I haven't found anything that says you can't take too many adaptogens, or there can't be too many probiotics, because your body will just flush out if you know. So it's okay if like I took a probiotic in the morning, and if I drink my drink later, nothing bad is going to happen. Like your body will just will just rid itself of anything extra that it doesn't need in. And so the easiest way for me, and the yummiest way to consume these adaptogens, or these beautiful stress combating things made from God, is to blend it up in either an herbal tea or with some hot water, or in a yummy matcha mix. So yeah, my recommendation would be the easiest, simplest way to get your adaptogens in, which are my number one list on these stress combating foods. All of these other foods are great ways to implement them into your diet and to relieve stress altogether. But I feel like this is a long term. If you continue to drink these types of things every single day, consume the adaptogens, then you are building up a tolerance to the way that to the way that your body on a physical level handles stress. So like I literally have noticed a difference. So like I could be a spokesperson for adaptogens all day long. Like I used to consume things and would see, oh, adaptogens, and I'm like, ooh, that's fancy. Like I know that it means something, but I didn't know what. So I was like, I want to learn more about that. And I researched after I'd been drinking this stuff, just knowing, oh, I think it's good, but didn't really know enough about it. And when I dove in and saw what they actually do for us, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked back at how, okay, this is the time period where I was clenching my jaw. Here's the time period where I miraculously stopped and noticed my body handling stress a little different. And even to little things, like I'm the type that like I don't like to hear a baby cry. Like I want to like fix it, like are you okay type thing. And like I don't know what that is, but like I've noticed it's a little bit easier for me now. Like it's okay, everything's okay. I can calmly navigate through something like that. Or just like it's always the little things that can bring us the worst pain sometimes, you know. But I have found my body literally is on a physical level responding differently to certain situations. And so here is my free gift to you. It's the advice of get you some adaptogen rich something today, whether it be, if you don't like to drink herbal teas, I know that they have adaptogen supplements or even drops out there that you can readily find on Amazon or whoever you go through to get your natural supplements. But take it from me, add some adaptogens into your life and watch your stress melt away. Just bringing you some more info about the power of plants. Did you find this video helpful? Did you learn something today about something you didn't already know? If you did, please leave a comment below. Let me know what inspired you, what helped you, what you'll be adding into your daily regimen. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. That way you can get notified of all of the videos that I upload, because I promise they can all be helpful in some sort of way. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And until then, we'll see you again on The Busy Vegan Mom. Bye.